So welcome everyone to your kickoff, your official kickoff. We have very important people here with us as well. You as the beneficiaries officially selected. We have the project coordinator. We have your mentors. We also have Mohammed, who is kind of the support program manager. So, you know, everybody that's supposed to be here is, almost everyone is here. And first of all, I think we just need to, oh, I need to admit somebody. Give you a little agenda. I know that I planned, I think, for about an hour and a half the meeting, but I don't know how long the Q&A is going to take. So we'll see how long it takes. Maybe we will finish within an hour, so we won't keep you for too long afterwards. Okay, I know everybody is kind of busy. So after the welcome, I will ask Alan to present a little bit the project, because the moment you sign the subgrant agreement, you actually become part of the dAIEDGE project. So it will be nice. Maybe he'll introduce a little bit the different activities, not only the open calls that are happening. And also, I asked Nuria if she could present the VLab again, because it's been going on, the developments in that. So you will have an update of what new ways you can use it. And I will cover the support program overview, and I will ask maybe Mohammed to say a few words that some of you are probably very keen about knowing, about the payments or signing the agreement and so on. So I will ask him as well to say a few words, and we'll have a Q&A for any of your doubts. And then I will create the Meet Your Mentor rooms. So that way, anybody, you can stay as long as you want or as long as you need in the breakout rooms. And we don't have to keep anybody whose mentor maybe couldn't make it, or you're too busy and you need to leave. Then we won't keep you. Okay. Right. So first of all, I think we have the summary of the project. So Alan, I will give you the voice. You could just tell me when you want me to change the slides to the next one. I think you remember which ones they are. So
I guess yes. Fine.
Yeah.
Well, thanks Veronica for the introduction and also for the organization of this meeting today. Welcome every beneficiary and congratulate you to have been selected in this open call number 3. It's a program that is first very interesting for you, but also quite competitive because we got a lot of applications. Yeah. Actually, I did not say anything about the projects yet, but okay, we'll speak of that, and then you can move to the slides before. Yes, as you see, these numbers in the decreasing order. If you look at the end, you are 10 projects that have been selected. This was the size of our budget, but it started with 277 submissions to the call. Among them, 259 were eligible. Then, because of the high number, we had a pre-scoring mechanism that allows for first assessment. From these 102 remained in the list, and then it was actually listed by score, and the 30 best ones were invited to a jury day, where the selection committee could have questions and have more information about the intentions and the intended project. And now we are here with 10 selected, and I'm very happy because it shows also that the ones selected have been highly motivated to be in the project. So that's great for the upcoming months. If you can just go back the last slide. Yes. Probably if you are here, you know a little bit about the dAIEDGE project. What I wanted to say about it is that more than a project, it's also a network of excellence. So it is in the frame of a series of networks of excellence on AI that has been launched by the EU. And the dAIEDGE is the only one only network of excellence that focuses exclusively on AI at the edge. We have started in September 23, and we are a consortium of 36 partners. Here you see the logos of the partners. There are reputed research institutes, companies, SMEs, and associations. Yeah, you have details about how to reach us, but I think by now you should know that. Okay, now maybe we can skip the next one. Yes, exactly. So this is to show that we are part of a network of excellence. So it's called the AI Lifehouse. And as you see from the logos, several of them have been created. Actually, it's a little bit chronological from the top to the bottom. Taylor, AI for Media, Human AI, all of that, these ones are now finished. But you also see that each of them has a specific focus. So humane side of AI, Taylor is on trust, AI for Media is on media, and so on. And the last ones that started together with us are dAIEDGE, Enfield, and Elias. Yes, so we are also in close contact with these other NOEs, and we form a kind of network. Next one, yes. So our project has a number of objectives, so we'll just go rapidly over them just to situate a little bit what we try to achieve. So the first one is to reach scientific excellence and progress in edge AI. So that's why we gathered many of the very good researchers in Europe, and we try to do research on very foundational things related to edge AI, for example, neuromorphic hardware or hybrid distributions and so on. The second one is to try to gather a community around edge AI. For that, we have been organizing workshops, webinars, and different meetings. The third one is what we call the strategic research agenda. This is starting from the experts trying to list the main research orientations that we together as a community, but also the EU as a funding body should focus on. So we are actually producing a document where we list our strategic view on what should be done in terms of research, and we are currently making it, and we will deliver this later on this year. The three other ones are more practical. So the one that we call lead by demonstration is that we want to show that it's not only theory, but also practice. And we are developing 3 use cases that I will present shortly later. The virtual innovation infrastructure is that we provide tools, and this will also be presented. Mainly it's the what we call the dAIEDGE VLab, where you can actually access hardware in a kind of remote way. Also more on this later. And the industrial ecosystem is that we are, of course, trying to support a strong economy and industries in Europe. So we developed different frameworks for that, including an incubator. Next slide, please. Yes, here, the innovations that we provide, the AI virtual lab, now it's called the VLab. I will not speak a lot about this because it will come in the next presentation. But we're also thinking about a marketplace. So this is currently taking place because we are reaching the last year of the project, and an incubator for helping small companies to develop a novel AI edge solutions. Yeah, in terms of events, as a network of excellence, we have been organizing and co-organizing many events. So we have there is a conference called Edge AI, and we have been co-organizers for the last 3 times. I think this slide is a little bit outdated because we had also the last one was in 24. Yes, here 25. We are participating to many workshops at the HiPeak. The next one is actually in 2 weeks in Krakow. We are also creating different webinars, hackathons, and workshops in many different venues. All right, next slide, please. Yeah, oh yes, it's already finished. I didn't know how many slides you had. So I did not speak a lot about the pilot, just maybe shortly, because I thought there was a slide about this. But together with the consortium, we are developing 3 pilots. The first one is putting edge AI on autonomous systems like drones and robots to help humans in a kind of warehouse infrastructure where you have goods and you need to have surveillance and help. The second is satellite imagery, and we try to do image pre-processing directly on the satellite. We do that with DLR as a leading partner. And the last one is a smart city, where we actually develop algorithms for sensing in distributed cameras or even devices that are distributed in a smart city environment to detect movements of persons, traffic, and different types of events that can happen in the city. So these are for the use cases, and I think I will stop here. Otherwise, I will go over my 5 minutes.
It's okay. Yeah, sorry, Alan. I also thought that the slide with the 3 different use cases was there, but thank you.
Fine.
Okay, so I think now Nuria will talk a little bit about the scalable virtual lab, so our own VLab.
So thank you, Veronica. Thank you for the introduction. So hi everybody. Probably you already heard about the virtual lab during the webinar that when we were promoting this open call. Now you are here, you are selected, so maybe you would like to use it concretely, so for your specific challenge. So maybe just a quick summary or recap of what is this VLab. It is, as Alan was mentioning before, is one of the tools that we are developing within the dAIEDGE project, and that is now online and can be used by beneficiaries of the dAIEDGE projects, as you. So this dAIEDGE virtual lab is a distributed and decentralized virtual laboratory allowing remote experiments on different kind of AI-powered devices. We will see later the kind of devices that we supported, but the main objective is so that it's easy to use, that is flexible, so we can add the different resources, different tools, different services, decentralized, so it's not on a single location, but it is decentralized around the different facilities of the partners so far. Modular, so easy to accept different devices and frameworks, inference engines, for example. And I would even add now trust, because we integrated the blockchain for traceability, and yeah, we can also store the benchmarking reports that are issued from the experiments on the marketplace that will visualize the results at the end. Next slide, please. So here we can see the current features and services provided by the virtual lab. So first of all, you can use it for benchmarking of AI models in remote edge devices with random data, which is, we call it type 1. So you can also use it to benchmark AI apps. So here the difference is that you use your own data sets, which is being pre-processed, and you can obtain also metrics more on the software kind of metrics like accuracy and so on. This is the type 2, and we also integrated in the meantime the on-device training, so you can launch experiments of on-device training. Most time is fine-tuning the model, so by, for example, training the last layer. This is what we call type 3. And we are currently working on federated learning. This is almost done, but the integration is not on the virtual lab, is not completed. So maybe just in 1-2 months it will be ready. Just if you need it, please come back to me, and I will provide you more details. As mentioned before, we adopted the blockchain middleware to adding the trust to the platform, and we are continuously integrating new AI-powered devices. Other speaking AI networks are already there. RISC-V platforms are also there, and we are currently working on the integration of FPGA-based accelerators, so that we can also create a custom accelerator on an FPGA remotely and to get the performance metrics back. So here a quick overview of the architecture of the virtual lab. We have on the top side the blue nodes is the layers of the virtual lab which are implemented on the user side, and in the bottom the yellow blocks are the functionalities which are implemented on the remote side, meaning in the owner's facilities. So if an owner providing an edge device, so it will integrate all the required host and edge device to run the experiments on this specific edge device. And all this is supported by a P2P communication. Yeah, that's all. Next slide, please. Maybe just more concretely on the edge devices which are supported. So we see here a list of the ones you can already use, like high performance CPUs from the type Arm Cortex-A. We have also embedded GPUs like family Jetson Urim from NVIDIA or Sadia. We have also some low power MCUs, mostly from the family Arm Cortex-M, but also RISC-V. We have also some processors with NPUs, neural processing units, so like STM32MP2 or Qualcomm FV3, and what we call the visual processing units like the Myriad X from Intel. It is not here in the slide, but also integrated in the meantime is in spiking networks. This is the spec from Saint-Sen, and yeah, working on the FPGA-based accelerators. So on the OS support, so there are some platforms supporting Linux, so embedded Linux, the others with real-time operating systems, and some of them even bare metal. And regarding the inference engines which are supported, so we have some vendor agnostic, like an instant time, TensorFlow Lite, TensorFlow Micro, or other proprietary solutions like TensorRT for NVIDIA, GrooveAI for ST platforms, and OpenVINO for Intel platforms. So they are not all supported on all platforms for sure, but it depends on the platform that you will have the choice between one or two different inference engines. Yeah, here maybe just a screenshot of the web interface. So the type 1, meaning the benchmarking of AI models, it can be launched through the web interface. On the left side, you can see the input page where you can select which target device, which inference engine, and yeah, how many inference you would like to launch on for the benchmarking, for obtaining the benchmarking metrics, and then you can launch the experiment. And then once the experiment is ready, you will get the report with all the different metrics on latency per layer, CPU usage, memory usage, and also power consumption for most of the platforms which integrate this metric. This is for type 1. The next slide, we also provide the possibility of using an API. We have a Python client ready, and so you can, for type 2 and type 3 experiments, benchmarking of AI apps and on-device training, you have to go through the API, but all documentation is directly on the website, and then you can access the dAIEDGE lab through this API and integrate it directly on your own pipeline. Yeah, that's all for all, but if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay, I think it's my turn now to move on. Thank you, Nuria, for this explanation. As I said, it's still work in progress because the VLab, it's on offer for you as beneficiaries to use the resources that have been identified within the dAIEDGE. But there are other, work packages within this big project that are continually working on. That's why, some of the slides, they say, actually, we are working on AFPG at the moment and accelerator. So once you're in contact with us, you can also ask, like, when will this be available, and make sure that it fits within your work plan, right? So moving on to the support program, which you're all really curious to know about, I'm sure, right? So what's currently happening, I've seen that this morning you have should have received at least 2 emails. So one of the emails was from me, and that was about the ethics. But the most important one at the moment is also the subgrant agreement. So this email will have come from Mohammed Salim, who is your key contact point at DFKI, who is the coordinator and who is in charge of all the payments. Okay, so what you will need to, I think there's some instructions on how to sign this document, and you can review it and see maybe if it's the right person who has the power of attorney to sign it. Maybe something has changed in the meantime, or maybe the dates are not the right ones, or anything like that. You can review it and maybe send an email back saying, oh, you know, something is some information, or maybe a typo, you know, the wrong address or something like that. But the contract needs to stay the way it is in terms of all of the conditions that are listed there. Okay, because we've had cases where the contract has been returned with like lots of comments and we would like to change this clause, and that is unfortunately not possible. Mohammed, could you confirm, can it be signed digitally, or will that cause an issue with this counter signing from the coordinator?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Mohammed. I'm the dAIEDGE project manager, and first I also would like to welcome you all and congratulate you for being selected in the 3rd open call program. Some of you already got the subgrant agreement today, and the remaining will get it also today. I'm just finalizing it. Yes, I think digitally it can mean 2 things. Since we had some issues before with some digital signatures that we cannot afterwards put another digital signature. So I think this time it's preferred to have it signed either using like an image of the signature in the file, or you can print it, sign the paper, and scan it and send it back to us.
Okay.
So by this we will have
first,
hopefully,
right? Mm-hmm.
yeah, just to have a smooth process afterwards. And I hope this is okay for all of you. If not, just let us know. Yes, so you will get the documents today. For the ones that I sent today in the morning, I think this was before having the ethics evaluation. It can be added later. When you send it back to me, I will add the evaluation at the end. You will find that the final page is the cover page of the ethics form annex, and it will be added afterwards. For the ones that I did not send yet, I will include it directly and send it to you.
Yeah, everything was just happening this morning, so
Yes.
we're trying to like kick off everything at the same time.
If you have any questions regarding the signature, just let us know. And what's important, as Veronica mentioned, and I would like just to put some emphasis on this, is to double check your information. Make sure that the VAT number, for example, is correct, the address is correct. Some of you had the 2 different addresses between the company address and the correspondence address. And the correspondence address is listed somewhere inside the subgrant agreement regarding the mailing and communication. So make sure all those little, tiny details here and there are correct according to your institution information. The legal representatives are the correct ones. The communication partner or the assigned person is also the correct one. Just double check that. If you find any discrepancies, just let me know. I will correct it, and I will send you again.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Right, so in terms of ethics, you all have first done the self-assessment, which then was sent to the expert, and now we have received the expert review just yesterday, so that's why it was sent this morning. And this report will be included in your IMP. So I will talk about the first deliverable and show you where the ethics goes. So your first deliverable, if you remember from the guide for applicants, it's called Individual Mentoring Plan. And it's going to be kind of like your master sheet of all of your whole plan for the project. And where you will include all of your KPIs, the ethics recommendations, and so on. And you can, like, after you submit it, you can still kind of like use it with your mentor as the master sheet. Maybe have a shared file and you're like, you can add different tabs to it, or like for different KPIs or mine, or oh wait, 1 second, somebody here. I think I added, yeah, or different milestones. So you can use it like a live document afterwards, right? After it has been submitted. So I will let you know who your mentor is, and your first job be to contact your mentor and start. We'll keep working with them to use the template and just a kind reminder that the duration of the first phase is only 1 month. So it's a very quick phase to make sure it's kind of like an option for you to get to know your mentor, align your project with what you suggested in the proposal that you submitted. Now make it into a concrete plan, maybe also arrange with the frameworks or the support that you expect to receive now that you're getting to know the infrastructure that we have within dAIEDGE. So this is just like the 1 month to do that for you, okay? So as I said, it's a planning phase, right? You're making a more concrete plan of what you're going to be doing, and that deliverable is your individual mentoring plan, and that will be due. So the first phase is over on 15th of February. So shortly you can deliver it on the date, right? If you finish up to that, or you will be given a specific time, probably by the end of February, right? To give you a few days after the phase is finished to deliver that document. But we will let you know like exactly when we expect the deliverable. And then between March and August, I know that it just so happens that you're going to be finishing in the middle of August, which is quite a complicated time, but you can keep that also as a motivation to, finish, deliver, submit everything, and then just go on a nice holiday. So hopefully that's going to be a good motivation for you as well. So as you see, this support program is quite, it doesn't have many stages, right? So from the implementation point of view, it actually puts all of the responsibility on you to make sure that you use the 6 months well, and also keep in contact with your mentor and have your own kind of milestones and KPIs and so on, because we are going to be only checking it at the end, okay? So there's only 2 payments. It's a very simplified support program. There's not many stages where we ask you for deliverables all the time, and there's like 4 tranches of payments. It's only the first one, which you can, I suppose, treat it almost like a prepayment, right? Because after the first phase, you only deliver the plan, and you are paid 15% of the grant. So that's kind of like a prepayment level. And then the big payment will come after you successfully deliver everything at the end. So just keep that in mind in terms of your cash flow. I know you have mostly SMEs, so it really takes careful planning to do that and deliver on time within your budget. So the payment schedule is the following. The first stage is 15% of the grant, and the second phase is 80% of the grant. These are the more or less the dates that we have set up, and you will see the sentence, I think, was still included in the guide for applicants. So if you're wondering what happens with this kind of like delayed payment mechanism, it has been decided that it's not going to be applied in this open call. So you don't need to worry about it if you see it somewhere. Mohammed, yes?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. I just want to clarify one single point here, that as you know, the deadline for the submission, or not the deadline, the phase finishes on the 15th of February. And as you said, there might be, we can, of course, submit on the 15th, the deliverable, but if you, let's say you submit on the 15th of February, the payment will probably not happen in February. It will take some time. Do you want to clarify this now, Veronica, or?
Yes, I think I have a slide later. One
Yeah.
second. Maybe I'll find the slide for you so you can explain it, okay?
Yeah, just to remove any confusion when it's written on the payment February 26, because there is a process.
Here. So the payment can really take up to a month.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the payment will probably be March.
Yes.
Here. So in terms of deadline, being on time, it's very helpful for us. And then, so after you submit, it's not like automatically you're going to get paid, okay? There's a few processes that go into it. So the first thing would be like the standard that we use is maximum 2 weeks after end of phase. But if we agree that the 1 month is enough and you would like to submit, what is 15th of February? What day of the week is? Does anybody know? I am here.
It's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we do it 16th or 17th or like a Tuesday, right? To give you 2 days after the official end date of the phase to submit, and then it will speed things up. So after that, the deliverable is going to go to the technical partner, who is it's your mentor actually, who is going to be scoring the work that you did. Then it has to go to the selection committee to approve the payment, and then the coordinator pays you. But sometimes it can take like happen within this the same week, the mentor evaluation and the selection committee approval. But we want to give you like the longest option, so you don't expect that it happens within 2 days. Okay, so it can take up to 10 days, but the payments, they do take a while. Okay, usually like there's no hope that it will be approved and then released the next day. It really takes a few days, right, Mohammed? Yeah.
Yes, because of the internal process here of also having like several approvers from the accounting department, finance department, and so on.
Yeah.
But we try, of course, to expedite it as much as we can, but just to set the expectations right.
Exactly. Yeah. So in terms of your milestone review, there will be kind of 2 different criteria. Obviously, within the first month, when you're doing just the individual mentoring plan, there will be no like technical advancement at that stage, right? It's only a planning phase and so on. So you're going to be scored on the deliverable quality, so the quality of whatever you submitted, and the deadline compliance. The score has to be up above the threshold of 7 points, and you will receive the payment once it's approved by the selection committee. Unfortunately, for those who do not reach those 7 points, you will be excluded from continuing, but also you will not receive the payment. Okay, so that's one of the things. It rarely happens in any open calls, but this is one of the conditions that you accept when you sign the contract, that even if you do all the work and you try your best, but you just don't perform at the level that we're expecting, there will be no payment due. Okay, so just to keep that in mind.
It's 7 out of 10, just to clarify this point.
Oh yeah,
it's 7 points out of 10. Each criteria is getting 10 points, and then with the weighted sum, it will be 7 out of 10 is the threshold.
Yeah, so you can receive 0 points if like you don't submit anything, right? But yeah, you need to have 7 overall, right?
Yeah.
Depending, it gives you the weight here. So obviously, the quality of your deliverable is more important than the deadline compliance, right? So that's why it's been changed like that. So the basics of the first phase. I'm going to show you the individual mentoring plan in a second. So I'll just show you what it looks like. Okay, so it's just going to be like an Excel sheet that you can use as your master plan, and you will be filling it out with your information. So this is just a read me first sheet, and then in this info sheet you will include all of your information. And it, as I said, it's best if you have it shared with your mentor afterwards, and you can both maybe add information to it and use it as a live document. So you will receive this together with the recording of this, with the slides, so all of the instructions and the template you will receive, I suppose, tomorrow when the recording has been processed. Okay, so there's also a tab for a budget. Okay, and the budget, it's really important that it aligns with whatever is in your subgrant agreement, and it has to align like down to €1.27. If it's not aligned with what's written in the subgrant agreement, we will ask you for correction. Okay, so because it has to be like down to a cent. So please pay attention to how you fill this out. You know, there are some like formulas in here, but it should be easy. Also, I'll just go back here to my slide for a second. So any deviations that from the original proposal, they must be discussed with the mentor first. Okay, so when you maybe planned to use the VLab and you promised that in your proposal, but something happened in the meantime and you're not going to be using it, you need to discuss that with your mentor, and they will say, oh, you know, there's this slight deviation from the proposal, but I think it's still actually an improvement, and it's not a deviation that would put in question, like, why was this project selected, but it's doing something else, you know? So everything like that has to go through the selection committee, and they have the power to say, yeah, it's okay, like this small change is not going to jeopardize the whole selection process and make it not look like straightforward when we have, let's say, an audit, right? In terms of, I don't know if you remember that you were meant to promise some kind of level of TRL, right, in your application form. So the minimum that is expected is here, minimum TRL 4 or 5, depending on what you promised. So that means some kind of demonstration. It could be in a lab environment or in a simulated real life environment. So just keep that in mind, that this is going to be your end result, and you will need to have some kind of demonstration. And your KPIs will determine the benchmarks for the final deliverables. I'll show you. There needs to be kind of like a continuity between what you promised in your application form, what you're going to establish in your mentoring plan, and then towards the end, when you deliver your final technical report, the mentor and the selection committee will be like, okay, so they promised this, okay, then they specified these KPIs, and then let's see how these KPIs compare to what was promised. So this is how it's going to be. I will tell you as well about the submissions, how to submit it. There's nothing complicated like, you know, a special cloud where you need to upload things. It's mostly done by email. And if you have like a huge file, obviously you can use WeTransfer or something like that. That's not a problem. So going back to the individual mentoring plan, as I said, it has just a few tabs at the bottom. With the first two is just like info sheet and read me first, and the second one will be kind of your most important, which will be the KPIs. And you need to pay clear attention to the difference between a milestone and a KPI. Okay, that's something for a discussion to have with your mentor. As we mentioned, the budget, it needs to align down to a cent to what's written in your subgrant agreement. And then you will have a tab about the ethics. So it just looks like this. it's kind of like the ethics KPI. So it's going to, the ethics expert will have given you some kind of like recommendations. You need to do this, this, and that. So these are going to be your ethics KPIs that you will include here in the file. Okay, going back. Once again, the only thing, I'm keeping this slide here so that you have it for future reference when I send it to you. Do not mix milestones and KPIs. So milestones are about actions, but measures. So KPIs are about results. So just keep that in mind. It's something to discuss with your mentor. And also, I wanted to apologize about the ethics report because I was downloading it from our platform, and here it was just doing things that platforms do when you download something to PDF, and they just enter some crazy numbers and just things. So I apologize for that. I don't know what happened. I hope you can kind of like work around it. But usually there are some recommendations. So it will tell you, like, you have a risk assessment to do, you need to have a data governance plan, AI governance plan, and you should also know and discuss with your mentor, like, when would be a good time to do it? Do I need to do it in the first month so that I have it guiding me through the implementation, or can it be done maybe at some middle stage? Or maybe towards the end, but usually it's probably at the start, right, of the projects. Maybe not the first month, but maybe the first month of implementation. But you will, of course, deliver it at the end. So you can just plan that according to whatever the ethics evaluator gave you. There are some references there as well, but all ethics follow-up will be done by your mentor. Okay, so you can discuss it, and if you find that the recommendations are too strict, it's a matter of discussing it and not disregarding what the ethics expert said, but discussing with your mentor and taking the actions. In relation to phase 2, so once you deliver your IMP and it's spring and you're ready to implement, just make sure that you know what you're going to have at the end of this project. So each project context is very different. Some of you will have more practical applications with a demonstration that is, in situ. I don't know, everybody's at a different level, and somebody is just going to have like a bunch of data that like I would not make sense of, right? But to get you there, you need to keep regular meetings with your mentor. As I said, you're only delivering now and then in August. So it's up to you to keep those meetings and know where you are in your implementation. Keep your records, the records of your progress for reporting. So you have like different iterations. Maybe if there's an issue, you can demonstrate that, okay, this was approved or happened at that stage. So just make sure that you keep records, communicate any problems immediately. Okay, so we are here to support you, to help you through this journey, and we know that things happen. So just make sure that you're in contact with us, and we will deal with it. And you're more than welcome to announce this to the world that you've been selected. That you're signing the contract, you're now part of the dAIEDGE, you're looking forward to it, so you can disseminate as much as you want, and we will support you in that. And maybe our team from dAIEDGE will reach out to you and maybe ask you how you're doing, and if you'd like to provide any information. So the technical report at the end that you're going to deliver at the end should refer, as I said, to the KPIs that you establish in the mentoring plan. For data that is difficult to report, you can use a video or demo showing how something works, because not everything can be showed on a graph or anything. And you may be asked to provide kind of like a summary of the reports or an interview, as we mentioned, I think in an email. So it will be very nice to have your collaboration on that as well. So you can say hello to everybody. This was announced already, I think, on the website who has been selected. This is organized by, I think, the challenge number, okay? In ascending order, or descending, sorry. And there's 10 of you. Don't worry about the numbers here. So the first challenge, we have your mentor here, Nuria. I don't know, is Stefan connected? I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to the list.
Yes, good.
Yes,
I
okay.
am connected, yes.
Wonderful, thanks. Nice to have you here. So you're going to be working with Sensify. I see a lot of kind of like French speaking with the French speaking, and you know, the Greeks will probably have their meetings in Greek as well, so it's quite nice. Then we have Miguel. You're going to be looking after 3 beneficiaries. So Miguel, could you say hello so that everybody can place you?
Hello.
Yeah, there we are. So we had that was one of the most popular challenges. So we selected 2 projects in there. And also the 5th one was suggested by Versus, so they'll be looking after you. And then from CETIC we have, I don't know if Javier is here or Xavier or anyone. Nicolaus, no? Okay, well, you will have an option to meet them. Don't worry, today is like just a kickoff, so not everybody, I understand that not everybody was available. I don't think Christos is here, or is he?
Hey, Veronica.
Oh, you
Please
are
do.
there. Wonderful. Okay, great. So you'll be working with Dotsoft, and then I saw that Rashid connected. So he's in the headquarters there with Alan and Mohammed. And you have 2 projects as well to look after. And the last one is Oscar. You will be working with your friends from Spain. So is Oscar here? Yeah, I think I saw him connected. Somebody's there waiting. Okay, so I think we will move on now to the questions that you may have before I will ask you to hang on with me while I create the breakout room so you can have like your first meeting. But let's go to the questions first. Yes, Mohammed?
Veronica, may I just add one point?
Sure.
Just to make sure everyone is on the same page regarding the deliverables. There is the final technical report, which is after the finishing of the project. But if you also, can you please go to the KPIs tab in the IMP? You can define intermediate steps with specific dates that you would like to achieve. This is also possible. That's why it's important to work with your mentor on this. And as you can see here, for example, the technical report is the last one. But if you have something in between, just to make sure that the implementation of the project is smooth, you don't need to do everything at the very last 2 weeks or week of the project. You can define it to have intermediate steps, but you just submit it to your to your mentor. Put us also in CC. But the final submission, the technical report, is at the very end. So this you get to define with your mentor.
Yes.
It's very important to work with your mentor on this document with all the details. This is because this is what you plan to do. So pay a lot of attention to it, and make sure everything is aligned also with what you submitted in the proposal, and to have a smooth, run of the project. That's it.
Yes, thank you. So some of the questions that we received previously that you maybe are wondering, is the duration of the phases fixed? So we say no, because in all of our documents, we say up to a month or up to 6 months, okay? So if you finish earlier, and you're able to deliver it within 5 months, then you can submit, a little bit earlier. That's why we say up to 6 months. But because we are kind of running towards the very end of the dAIEDGE project, we don't have much wiggle room for extensions or like adapting the timeline to everybody's needs. So we say that it's not fixed, but actually in this case, it's quite fixed, right, Mohammed? Yeah, I think we're kind of like, we
Yes.
don't have much.
As I wrote in the sub-grant agreement, for the ones who got it already, I saw it, there is, I pushed the extension to the most, which is the end of the dAIEDGE project, which is end of August. So there is in case of extensions, we have only at most 2 weeks at the moment. And of course, it has also its own procedure. It must be first discussed with the mentor, and then it has to be submitted to us, and then it will be, I think, approved or decided upon by the selection committee, and then you will get the decision.
Yeah. So you cannot this is one of the key things. You cannot submit a request for extension after the deadline. It has to happen before the deadline, when you realize I will not make it on time. Not like, I lost the bus already, so can I ask for an extension? No. Is there a final deadline for the completion of the project? Yes, and I think it's included in the sub-grant agreement. Who do I report any issues with your project? So first of all, with your mentor, and who will escalate the problem when needed. If there's a need, there's all of this chain of people that will look into it. But if you have problems with like access to data or anything like that, just make sure that you let us know as soon as possible so that we can find a solution. Can I receive an advancement payment of the second tranche? What's the answer, Mohammed? No.
No.
Unfortunately, the payments are not negotiable. It's written in the sub-grant agreement. It was, accepted by the European Commission, so we cannot just go depending on the needs of everybody. And I know, we stressed it from this very start that it's not easy in terms of the cash flow, but that's the way it works, okay? As I said, the delayed payment mechanism, if you see it anywhere mentioned, it's not going to be applied in this case. And what happens if you cannot complete the project? You will not receive the payment for the phase that was not implemented. So in some cases, maybe if you did like a middle phase, but you didn't do the final phase, you could receive the middle payment. But here, because there's only 2, it's a quite risky situation, perhaps, but we're here to support you. So we will do our best so that it does, to make sure that it doesn't happen. So just keep us in the loop. And the selection committee is here also to not only judge, but also to support and to look for solutions when needed. So the SGA signatures, we want them as soon as possible, right? Like, of course, do your due diligence, check them. We're not rushing you to not read the document before you sign it, but we want to move on with it as soon as possible. And we will ask you to organize the first meeting with your mentor. Today is kind of informal. Obviously, you won't have much to discuss. We just meet your mentor for the first time. And you should book like a monthly or a weekly slot. I don't know how often you want to meet. Also, the deliverables, as I said, there's no like special SharePoint where you should upload them by a certain date. It will be all done by email.
And also, there is no specific special template for the document itself. For example, the final technical report, it can be whatever you prefer. Of course, agree on it with your mentor. So it can be written in Word, in LaTeX, in whatever format you prefer, but it must be, of course, a document. Yeah,
and it should cover all of the tabs that you have. So KPI,
exactly.
Ethics, and so on. Yeah, and
It
the demonstration.
It must report like all the details. It's not like we performed this experiment. You need to put the details of the experiment that you did with the results and all of this. This should be inside the report.
Yeah. You can bore us with all the details, right? Yeah. So you should start working on the mentoring plan immediately after you sign it. Like, don't wait. I know it's all happening at the same time, but you can start working on it already, like as soon as you can. There's no we don't limit you that wait until this happens or that happens. So you can start working on it immediately after this. That's it from me, but I can take more questions if you have them. Any raised hands? No, I know I have one email from you, but I've already asked my legal team. I think it was from Irache, and I will reply to you by email, okay? So we can do it privately.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And of course, if you have any issues with, the structure of your company changing, or anything like that, you can always include myself and Mohammed in the communication, because we don't expect you to know exactly what he's looking after, what I'm looking after. We will sort it out between ourselves, who should be the one who will look after your issue, okay? But you can include myself and Mohammed in all of those emails.